Welcome into a fun Friday edition of The Meltdown. We have seen A Quiet Place Day 1. Is it worth screaming about, or will it be quickly forgotten about like a whisper in the wind? Speaking of prequels, John will give us his 5 favorite of all time with Luntz's list. Another edition of Hot or Cold will see our panel asked about a number of different trending topics in the entertainment industry headed into the weekend. And what got pulled out of the Dune popcorn bucket for our latest retro trailer reaction? You'll have to stick around to find out. It's all happening right here on The Meltdown as we are presented by MyBookie, broadcasting live from the Culver studio.
2 big boys in a tiny studio, teaching you and me about everything they know to make sound. A meltdown, it's the meltdown, time for the meltdown, coming for the meltdown, let's start the show.
Welcome in, all of you beautiful and loyal Meltdonians, here to this lovely little experiment that we call The Meltdown. We are blazing through the summer heat with you, hoping to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of the summer season, and we need your help to get there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not yet already. We talk all things pop culture, movies, music, television, and we are competitors as well. Meltdown Arcade was yesterday. Lots of fun there on that stream, and we had trivia on Wednesday. I'm going to skip right over the world champion, John Lunsford, and go right to Laurel Lunsford.
Oh
Laurel, how does it feel to be a tag team champion of the world?
It was really exciting. I didn't want to act like it, but I was going to be really upset if we lost. So I'm glad that we won.
I feel like you're the worst at actually hiding that fact, though. I mean, I knew that all along.
Really I'm glad she won because I would have had to have dealt with it at home. So instead, it was like,
paid
we're
off.
both champions.
I like some things that we practiced that were asked. So I'm glad that I studied.
You and Rockstar were dominant in the championship round.
Were we not?
Yes,
Yeah.
you should be very proud
of that. Were you shocked? Tell me what you were thinking.
No, I was absolutely not shocked.
Okay.
I guess I was more shocked that it took a rally in week 1 to get you to where you got to. Like, you guys found your groove from that point.
We really did.
And you haven't missed hardly any questions since then, that rally.
No.
But here's my biggest piece of advice to you.
Okay.
You're not going to get a lot of time competing against other teams now, considering you are the champ.
That's true.
And you're going to have to stay sharp.
I still need to be looking up things. I've been doing that. I'm keeping an ear out.
Keep that same competitive energy. That's what I'm asking for. John, really quickly here, we didn't get to it yesterday. It's something I love to get to every single week. Give me your top 5 box office prediction of what the domestic weekend box office is going to look like, as it's going to be a battle there near the top. But is Inside Out 2 going to retain that top spot going into week 3?
I think it will. And I don't know what last night ended up with A Quiet Place 2, or Inside Out 2, but I think Inside Out 2 ends up number 1.
Real quick, it's not A Quiet Place 2.
A Quiet Place Day 1. I don't know why I said A Quiet Place. I saw Inside Out 2, and I think I said A Quiet Place 2 after that.
I can tell you, by the way, $6.8 million last night, which is more than A Quiet Place's 4.3 and more than A Quiet Place Part 2's 4.8. So the most in the entire franchise, and that's because of the goodwill of the other two.
Yeah, good with the other two. Stranger Things fans wanted to see Eddie. It did get overall good reviews. Now, very quickly released good reviews before it because they kind of held on for a bit. But Inside Out 2, I'm going to say, is in the 55 million range or so, which will still give it number 1. A Quiet Place at number 2. At Quiet Place Day 1 at number 2. For, I'd say about 45 to 50, which, all things considered, I don't know what the budget was of this. I don't remember, but, I'd say an okay opening still, even though Inside Out is just absolutely slaying it. It's going to end up making over $1 billion. But number 3, I'll go with Horizon at number 3.
Really?
At about 13 to 15 million, which is not necessarily great, but still number 3, I guess. I don't know. Bad Boys had a little over 10 at number 4, and then I'll put Bike Riders at number 5 with about 4 million. I don't remember what it made last week. Last week. It
was about 10 million.
But I'll put it about 4, so a 60% drop. I could see that. The wild card, I don't know how many theaters Kinds of Kindness is in. I feel like it's not
doesn't come to this state until next week.
That doesn't surprise me at all. But I know it did expand a little bit this week, so I don't know, if that will hit or not.
Pretty divisive so far. Some of the reactions
compared to his other movies that have been, because Poor Things was like universally acclaimed, the favorite for the most part, really well received.
And is it
Lobster well received.
That Joe was in it, that it's getting these bad reviews.
That's all. It has tons of people in it, and of course Yorgos is coming off a great year. But all I ever hear in the household is, but Joe Alwyn's in it, so does anybody really care?
Producer Tyler here with us. Tyler, I want to get right into a movie I saw last night. No, it's not A Quiet Place Day One. It's Daddy-O. It's a movie you're going to see this weekend,
Daddy-O.
I believe.
Yeah, I was planning on seeing it last night after A Quiet Place, but the only other showing was at like 10 o'clock, and I was just too tired.
Well, I'm not going to spoil anything of Daddy-O for you.
It can't be the worst Dakota Johnson movie this year.
Definitely not. I actually like this movie.
Okay.
I think it's well written. If you view it more as a stage play than you do as a movie, it's just sort of two people having a conversation and that's it. And that's your only expectation visually for what you got going in. It delivers there. I think the script is pretty good. I mean, it's like, it feels like a really good bar conversation like that you'd overhear, and you'd be like, those two people are having some real intellectual thoughts. I liked it, but it is, low-key, the second horniest movie of the year. So, be prepared for that, Tyler.
Oh, what do you have as the first?
I assume Challengers.
Challengers.
Oh, Challengers? Okay.
That's
Okay.
an
I
easy
didn't know if
choice.
you were going to go Challengers or Love Lies Bleeding.
Did you hear the
He
tennis
hasn't
match?
seen Love Lies Bleeding.
Oh, yeah, he hasn't. I forgot about that.
I
but,
am going to
yeah.
make a vow that I will watch Love Lies Bleeding before the year ends, and I will have it on my official list somewhere, but I'm not going in
There's
with
some
any...
I'll believe it when I
sensual
see it.
four strokes in Challengers.
Oh, my God.
All right, that's our show today, everybody.
Young Tyler. I was watching this movie going, I'm enjoying this movie, but oh my gosh, young Tyler does not need to see this. This is an inappropriate film. So,
Is there a person
Daddy-O.
sitting next to you all propped up with a blanket on? Like there was next
Wait,
to us
is it
in
between the two?
Love Lies
Is it
Bleeding?
between the two main
Ugh.
characters? Is it Sean Penn and Dakota Johnson?
Well, those are the only two characters in the movie,
Oh,
so
okay.
take
Oh,
it for
I'm
what you
good.
want.
Pass.
I'm just saying it is pretty... I mean, it's
What's
pretty...
the age difference there?
That's what the...
A lot.
Pretty wide.
That's why the movie's called Daddy-O. Anyway, I don't know what's happened to this, but just make sure the Dune popcorn bucket is returned by Monday, Tyler. That's all I'm asking. Speaking of the Dune popcorn bucket, we pulled a movie out of there, which doesn't segue at all with the amount of horniness that I'm giving the Dune popcorn bucket. But what's
What
eating
was it?
what's
Oh
eating
yeah,
Gilbert
that's
Grape?
right.
There's no transition there to that. But
John's
what-
more focused on what's inside the Dune popcorn bucket than what comes
Exactly.
out.
Wait, what was the movie?
What's eating Gilbert Grape?
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
That's
I haven't seen it before, so I'm
good.
that's one I've always wanted to watch.
another rock star choice. Very solid performances. And I'm looking forward to revisiting this one and revisiting it with our retro trailer reaction series. We just did Jaws yesterday. And I have a little grievance, okay, John? I just have to be honest.
First,
okay?
do you think I'll like What's Eating Gilbert Grape or respect?
No, I don't
What's
think
Eating
you'll like
Gilbert
it,
Grape?
honestly.
You will like it.
Okay.
Okay, you respected Jaws. Okay, I respect it.
I don't think you just don't like old movies, I think.
Exactly. Let me get into this real quick. Tyler.
One of my top 5 movies of all time is from the 60s.
I got to get my complaint out. Okay? I'm looking at Letterboxd, and I see John's rating for Jaws. And it is
3.5.
3.5 out of 5.
That's what I said it was.
I know. But I go back in my mind to us reviewing The Acolyte this week, and you gave it a 4 out of 5.
That one episode.
And I'm thinking to myself,
I was more.
what kind of personal hell am I in?
I'm not going to say anything.
The Acolyte, episode 5 gets a 4 out of 5. Jaws gets a 3.5 out of 5. This just explains the type of people we are, John. And I think I'm going to probably hate Love Lies Bleeding, but I'm going to go in. I'm going to give it a fair
I know
grade.
you're going to hate Love Lies Bleeding, and we argue, okay, best Spielberg film. I go E.T. It's the space one. I mean, it's going to be, sci-fi is more my game.
Speaking of sci-fi space monsters,
This is going to be
We
an
went to
awful
go see-
transition. Oh, I thought you were about to do a
you think I was going to say my dentist? Did you think I was going to say, yes, my dentist, the best sci-fi space monsters that are around? But
I don't know if that'd be the worst segue you've had into that read, though.
That's worse than what I said.
Guys, I love my dentist at Alabama Dental Associates located on Grants Mill Road with Dr. Brian and Dr. Jeff. They are going to make time for you. They're accepting new patients right now. You guys forced me into this life.
You're welcome.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Now I dread talking about the dentist only because you guys make fun of me. Not because I actually hate going to the dentist. It is a fun time. Dr. Brian, he absolutely destroyed us in poker this past Monday. And he is not just going to clean all the chips off the table. He's going to clean those gums for you there at Grants Mill Road at Alabama Dental Associates. They have very flexible office hours. They even have Saturday hours. If you need weekend work done, this is the team for you at Alabama Dental Associates. Try them for yourself. They're accepting those new patients to make you feel at ease about all of your dental procedures. For more information or to make an appointment, call them 205-956-8977 or visit alabamadental.com as they look forward to seeing you. A Quiet Place Day 1. We all went to go see it last night. We give a spoiler review here on the channel that you need to check out if you've seen the movie or if you don't care enough about the spoilers, because there's really not much to spoil. Gonna be honest, not much to spoil about this one. You can go ahead and check out our spoiler review there on the channel. However, our non-spoiler thoughts really quickly. I was very disappointed with this movie, a 2 out of 5 for me. It is a film that promises huge answers and instead delivers the smallest scope of stories that we've seen yet in a Quiet Place film. I didn't think that was possible. I thought it was going to expand the universe, not make it even more finite with the amount of human characters that we can become invested in. It's paper thin, John.
It is. It's the human element of the first two is what made it so good. This tries that, I guess, but fails miserably at that. And I want to know big picture. I come at this from Cloverfield because it almost was a Cloverfield movie when they were in production with the very first one. And so I go into this thinking we're in New York City. It's going to be Cloverfield. Not even remotely like that. And it ended up kind of being a snooze fest.
Cloverfield is so much better than this movie. And Cloverfield came out in what year? 2007? Is that right?
2008, I think.
2008?
I think it's January 2008.
Still, I mean, it came out a long time ago, and it holds up, I think, a lot better than this one will over time. Tyler, you are new to the Quiet Place franchise. However, you walked out of this one and you were on cloud 9, it felt like.
Oh, yeah. I love this movie. And I guess it's because I don't have the expectation of it being a really grounded human element like you guys are talking about, like a story about a family or whatever. So this is kind of just two strangers meeting and surviving, and I enjoyed it.
Laura,
the sound design was solid.
We're both horror fans.
We are.
But this is the type of franchise that has attracted some non-horror fans, okay? And that hasn't been such a bad thing.
Yeah.
Do you feel like if there's anything positive that can be said about this movie, one thing is it will continue to attract those non-horror fans that are kind of giving it a sample?
Yeah, I think it's one. I mean, I don't. Is it? It's rated PG-13, right?
It is.
Yeah. I mean, it's really mild. I mean, I don't think there's anything that's gory or over. I don't think there's any gore in the movie.
Jaws had more,
honestly,
and that's PG.
They were smoking in the hospital too, which would immediately got it a PG-13 at least.
So is
that's true.
But this is probably the least violent one of the three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though this probably should have had the most carnage in it.
I think this might be the bleakest one, though. Honestly.
Yeah.
I think there was a spot for Dave Portnoy to pop in there with a pizza review. I think that would have been probably pretty good.
Oh,
Good
5-star movie at that point.
Eddie takes one
Strong
bite and spits it
4.9.
out. He's like, yeah, no, 1 out of 10.
Yeah, he gets killed doing the pizza review. That would be really smart. Okay, but that has led me to a whole nother series of discussion because there's not much to discuss about A Quiet Place Day 1, but there's a lot to discuss when it comes to the history of prequels, which is why it's now time to go ahead and get to Luntz's list as we're looking at those top prequels according to Mr. John Lunsford.
What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Oh. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Oh. Long since this goodbye. Long since this goodbye. Long since this goodbye. Long since this goodbye.
All right, John, it is now time to give us the answer to this question. Which 5 film prequels do you consider to be your favorite? I don't know what happened to my voice there.
This is a list that, as I was going through it, I had to ask questions about multiple ones because it's like, I mean, this is kind of a prequel, but then maybe it got retcon, and then maybe you went a different angle and multiverses. But
so this is a list that's going to make us mad potentially?
I don't think so. I mean, I think I know 4 of these you agree with me on. I don't know about the rest of the panel, but I know 4 of these you agree with me
There's one movie that if it's not on this list, I'm going to be very disappointed.
And if I've forgotten some, look, that's the thing too, is like, I'm not going to remember, and this Day One's not going to make this list ever, but it's a movie that is like, if you start thinking about best horror franchises, like for me, I'm going to go to A Quiet Place. I really love it. It's PG-13 for the guy that doesn't like violence and stuff. That when you say best horror movies, A Quiet Place is one of the ones that pops in my head. Maybe not for a lot of people, but it does for me. but I'm never going to remember day one. It's like, oh, there was a third one of those that was a prequel. I forgot about that. So there may be something that I forgot about.
While John goes up to the big board there, Tyler, I want you to show off the poster you got last night from the Quiet Place screening, because I told you these would be left over, and you were able to secure it.
They had a fan event, but we were recording the show. We were doing some Meltdown Arcade, so I couldn't go to that.
I do like that is...
Oh, I love the poster.
That's
It's so
really
the
cool.
little sound wave that's New York City.
If you ever work as a sound editor of any sort, which we do in this field, I mean, you're used to seeing something like that all the time. So I kind of like the simplicity of that.
I really like this poster.
Better poster than movie.
most of the
Poster.
movie takes point on this part of the poster. See, like all of this is day one when stuff's actually happening. Most of the movie takes place
I think
here.
it had a good trailer
Looking
too. It
for
had one of the
pizza.
best trailers.
I was so tired of seeing the trailer.
I didn't
before
know
that.
if
I got
you were-
tired of it too.
I didn't know if you were going based on the sound wave where it took place or the actual physical location in New York, because it technically took place at the back of that poster, if you really think about it, because they went up.
Check out our spoiler review.
Ellis
It's up on the
Island
channel.
was towards the end. Yep,
Yeah,
you're not wrong.
Okay.
It's going with duration.
Anyway, The Hobbit. I really like the story of The Hobbit. So this is kind of film, kind of not. I really like the story of The Hobbit. I love Lord of the Rings, the most epic trilogy that's been done.
I've never seen it.
Really, really solid. I know.
I saw Fellowship of the Ring.
This
I
is
said,
the
I'm
one.
out.
I'm with you, Tim. I do not like these movies.
I don't care about them.
I don't.
Sometimes I'll turn them on at night, and she's like, "Why?"
It is
I was like, "Because I have
strange.
5 hours to kill. I want to watch a movie."
It's strange how similar me and Laurel are with our movie taste.
Really
It is
is.
Are
strange.
you including the whole Hobbit trilogy
I'm
in
just
here, or
including-
is just Unexpected Journey or whatever?
I'm just including
First one
the
was.
story of The
Okay.
Hobbit because I actually like the animated film they did a long, long time ago. The book I enjoyed. Just the story in general I enjoyed. Now, they had to spread over 3 films because that's what you do in movies nowadays. Didn't necessarily like that. But overall, the story of The Hobbit is really good. So this is kind of a cop-out because I'm not just saying like just the first of the Hobbits or just the third Hobbit. Like I would have maybe just picked like Return of the King if I picked a movie that I liked of Lord of the Rings. But I like the story, and I will go. I could just say if you know you got to pick one, I'll go with the old animated film that I actually kind of liked.
Alrighty.
From Middle Earth to the middle of the pack, we move on to number 4 as we are continuing on towards that 3 spot, eventually getting to the number 1 prequel of all time. Let's go ahead and get to number 4 on Luntz's list. There's one that I really like that I hope makes the list because I know John likes it too.
Monsters University. That's a solid pick.
That's a good
I can't
one.
lie. I wasn't
Funny.
thinking of
That's
that.
a funny one.
I thought that might have been what you're talking about.
I still can't get over the fact that this movie doesn't have more love associated with it because I think it's really good.
So Monsters Inc. was actually one of the first movies I ever went to see in a theater.
Nice.
look
I
at that.
I have
This
an
is why you
intense
shouldn't see
love.
Daddy-O. You know, you're just a little young tot. You don't deserve to be.
But yeah, I love the Monsters Inc. movies.
We learned today on the next round, Tyler's 25. What? You're 25? They were shocked that Tyler was 25. Although they're like, Tyler could have been 18 or he could have been 42. That was actually
Yeah,
said today.
that is
Big
the
age gap.
That was actually said
common
today.
comment. I'm either 22 or 42. I don't know.
I can't wait for your review of Daddy-O. Okay. John,
Monsters
Monsters
About to
University.
start driving a cab.
We've talked about this movie a lot on air
We have.
already.
It's a good one. It's a good prequel. Pixar doesn't usually go back. They usually just kind of go forward with everything. Toy Story, they've gone forward. Finding Nemo, they went forward. Inside Out, they've gone forward. Monsters Inc., they went backwards, and it's a pretty good
And I
story.
don't think they'll ever do that again with their properties.
I love...
They tried to do it with Toy Story with Lightyear, sort of. The
Well,
show that inspired the character. And, a real person that
Well,
inspired.
before that, they had a prequel show to Toy Story called Buzz Lightyear Star Command, and that was actually pretty well received. It was a solid show.
I want more Forky ask a question, but like...
Forky ask a question.
Forky ask a question.
Yours is
Monsters
better.
University is it's a good show.
Showed me up.
I love the games they do where they try to pick the best scares. I like that whole storyline. It has a good college vibe. I'm not gonna say it's like Animal House or anything, but like I get little bits of stuff. Movies
It's
like
got
that.
Revenge of the Nerds
Revenge
all
of the
throughout
Nerds,
it.
Revenge
Yeah.
of the Nerds.
I have a solution. Instead of mascot mode coming back in NCAA football, let's bring Monsters University as a playable team, and let's make that happen, Tyler. Wouldn't you be
As
for that?
the resident mascot mode aficionado,
Would you take that deal?
I support this.
Okay.
I support
Okay.
this movement, Tim.
Good deal. EA, if you want to make $70 more, take my advice. Okay, let's go with number 3 on Luntz's list.
And at the time we worked at or I guess, what year did this come out?
Like 2015, 2016?
I think it was
14.
No,
I thought it was a little earlier than that.
I watched this in Orlando, so it was like.
See, I didn't see this in theaters. I
didn't
saw
either.
it after the fact, and when I saw it,
I'm going to guess 2012. Let me take a look.
right after I started at Jocks, and there's a fraternity in there that was Jocks, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." There's a fraternity.
2013.
There's a fraternity
okay.
that's JOX.
Earlier
It was
than I
Jaws Theta Chi, and it was JOX was the Greek letters for it. I thought, "Oh, that's funny." Ha 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 ha. I don't care now, but anyway, number 3 on the list.
Yes, this is the
X-Men
one.
First Class. Yeah,
This is the one I wanted.
that one's good.
It's a good one.
I need to go back and rewatch it because I think I've seen Days of Future Past more, and I really like Days of Future Past. But I remember really liking First Class when I saw that
Love
too.
First Class.
First Class.
2011.
Yep.
I probably like Days of Future Past better than First Class, but I do really, really like First Class.
But I think Quicksilver kind of carries Days of Future Past.
He does.
That
He
one
does.
scene there.
It's a good scene. I just like the back and forth and everything. I like Days of Future Past. But First Class was really solid. They did a really good job casting the various characters and their younger selves.
Kevin Bacon plays the bad guy in this movie.
Kevin
Oh,
Bacon
yeah, he does.
is good in it. Michael Fassbender is good in it. James McAvoy, everybody's really good in it. And it's a solid story, kind of helping set everything up. It's one of the best like origins we've gotten of characters in when it comes to superhero films.
The best Magneto we've ever gotten on film.
Single movie performance,
Yes.
I probably would agree. I probably like
When
Ian
he's
McKellen
at the
better.
bar and he kills those guys, it is vicious.
Overall, I probably like Ian McKellen better, but just single movie performance, I probably would agree.
Talking
with
about the
you.
character.
I'm saying
I like the
performance-
look of Ian McKellen as Magneto a bit more, but I think First Class was the best Magneto performance.
I don't disagree with that necessarily.
Number 2 on Luntz's list, best prequels is what we're getting to here. You could go a lot of different routes with this list. Where are we going with number 2?
Oh, Rogue One.
Rogue One's good.
John,
I don't know if I'd put it above First Class.
Is this-
Actually, I know I wouldn't, but that's you.
X-Men are down the list when it comes to my favorite superheroes.
That's
and
fair.
Star Wars. Clearly, I'm a defender of Disney
is this
Star
the
Wars.
only Star Wars movie on the list?
This is the only Star Wars movie
Okay.
on the list.
I want
I
us
ain't
to have a full
putting the prequels
conversation.
on here, and I'm not putting Solo on here, and I guess those are the only ones that would count movie-wise.
Thankfully, it's not eligible. John would have put The Acolyte on this list if he had been given the opportunity.
It is technically a prequel, but
it's not a
TV,
movie.
it's a TV show. No, I like Rogue One. I thought
Laurel, are we being mean about The Acolyte?
John,
hasn't watched it. She
I'm
sleeps
asleep.
through it.
Oh, okay.
I can hear it though. I mean,
Okay.
it's
That's all I needed to hear.
To be fair, she doesn't fall asleep while watching it. She is zonked out long before because they wait till 8 o'clock. And so by 8 o'clock, I'm always doing something else. We watch TV at like 6 or so. So we'll watch something. I'll go do something else. I'll come back and watch it at like 10:30, and she's already zonked out.
You haven't
That's
missed
true.
anything.
I've heard.
But Rogue One, you talked about how, one of the cool things about Jaws is it's all in the daytime. That's what I really like about Rogue One is there's a lot of daytime when it comes to it. I liked I love the final, probably 30 minutes when they get to the planet and they're trying to send the Death
Gosh.
Star.
It's a ticking time bomb sort
Yeah.
of feel, and it is just
I love the ending of it.
energy's great.
I love the ending except for when they get to Princess Leia at the very, very end. But outside of that, it's really, really solid.
Vader's never been a
Vader-
bigger badass.
Vader coming in and being able to basically reenact the beginning of A New Hope, but now-ish when it comes to technology and everything.
Have you
And
tried watching Rogue One into A New Hope?
I have, and
I think it works.
it
I've done
works. The only thing I don't like is Leia at the end of Rogue One, but outside of that, overall, it works.
And they can
it
fix
helps,
that now.
They can. It helps to. That is one of those. I'd like to see it. It's hard to remaster a movie that new, but like how they did with the originals, and like when added Jabba the Hutt with Han Solo at the beginning, all these random things they added. I would like to see that done now. Fix Princess Leia and fix who's the bad guy that they do
Tarkin.
it with? Tarkin. Fix him. Fix those two. Tarkin wasn't quite as bad because it's in the dark. Leia's in the light and
There's
like
still some bad
wearing
shots.
solid white, but neither one are
The
great.
technology wasn't quite there yet, and they went for it anyway.
That was at the beginning of the DAD.
That's the
so,
biggest reason
yeah.
I dislike the prequels as a whole, like the episodes 1 through 3, because technology was not where George Lucas thought it was at that point.
And they look worse than the
I don't
middle
despise
ones.
the stories of them. I despise the technology of the movie and how they. It's like hey, it's not 1977 anymore. We can do more because it's 1999. It's like, but you ain't there yet to where you can do this whole full-scale CGI battle that you have, and you have Jar Jar Binks.
Two best things
End of
about
story.
the prequels, really the three best things about the prequels: lightsaber fights, music, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And Hayden Christensen.
Lightsaber fights, music, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And pod
And Jake
racing.
Lloyd.
Let's kind of go hand in hand. Jake Lloyd, pod racing.
I'm going to repeat it one more time.
Now this is pod racing.
Let's go to number one on Luntz's list. Best prequel ever made. What will it be? Will it be The Godfather Part 2? Because you could say that that's a prequel.
No, it is, but no.
It is a prequel.
I don't like The Godfather, as I have stated here many times.
It insists.
I don't think a lot of people
upon
agree
itself.
with this. I know you like the movie, and it wouldn't be number one for you, but this is it for me.
What's it gonna be, Tim?
I have no idea. I am really in the dark here.
Paranormal Activity marked ones.
Don't think that's going to be the one. Skinamarink Zero. Number one.
Prometheus. He did.
Prometheus.
And yeah, you've talked about this movie a
You
lot.
do not know how well this leads into my next segment. But anyway, continue.
Something Alien Romulus.
Pretty much.
Prometheus is really good. It takes Alien and brings it kind of more into my world than in y'all's world. And
Although I got so sick watching this movie, I thought I was going to.
This
throw
is one
up.
that every time
I was
it's
about
like-
to pass out in the movie theater.
great
I'm
movie.
going to
I
watch
was going
Prometheus,
to.
and Laura's like, no, like this is the one she
That
tells me
one
not to
scene,
watch.
it really does. It messed with me. So I was about to pass
Where
out.
she has
in
to
the
have a
movie
C-section to
theater.
get the alien out.
It was messing with me. It was
Like-
just too much.
They got cold feet on this. They established it and then said, you know what? Let's just give people the raw carnage they want. And that's how you get crap like Alien Covenant.
Huge mistake. Now, if
I agree.
now you want to go to what you're doing with Romulus, that's different. That's fine.
Yeah.
But don't make the direct sequel to Prometheus the opposite of what Prometheus was.
Some
Like,
studio head said that was the way to go with that.
now, does Prometheus have alien moments in it? Sure. It's got a face hugger. She gets to do the C-section to get an alien out. Like, so there's clearly something in her chest. It's just, Prometheus is good. Alien Covenant, I never even wanted to watch because I don't want it to ruin Prometheus for me, because just watching a Red Band trailer alone was already more violent than Prometheus was. So, and Danny McBride. Nothing about Danny McBride when it comes to horror makes me want to watch it, even though I do like his comedy stuff. Prometheus is a good movie. I really enjoy it. It actually got me into Alien, and I like the first one okay. I respect it, as I like to say. But,
I've already shown everybody what that means.
You look every time he says that, Tim. You just look like you die a little bit
I do.
inside.
I
so
do.
guess what? I'm going to start saying it a lot more. I do want to see Aliens now.
Which is the supreme.
So he
one.
can
Everybody says
respect
it's
it some more.
Everybody says it's the supreme one, but I have no desire to watch any of them outside of that. However, I'm sure I will be drugged to Alien
Oh, you
Romulus.
will be. Don't
you
worry.
better be.
Honorable
You
mentions
will
I had
be.
on this list. I liked Furiosa. I thought it was a pretty good prequel. And I liked the Hunger Games prequel as well.
It's a good one.
I like both of those too.
You don't realize how well you're setting up my next segment. Is there any other prequels that really come to mind as being like those cream of the crop sort of experiences? Just right off the top of our heads. Anything?
I mean, Godfather 2 definitely counts. I'm just not really with that. I had to stop myself from saying, because like I asked you, like, is Rise of the Planet of the Apes a prequel? No, it's really kind of a reboot, so you can't really say it's a prequel.
I think the Mamma Mia prequel was pretty good. The one that has Lily James
we go
in it.
again.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Only way that gets mentioned is if you're in here with us, Laurel, because I don't think.
I was just
I really like-
there's some prequels.
I really like Mamma Mia.
I don't think
said
Rockstar
Paranormal
is going to say the Mamma Mia
Paranormal
prequel.
Activity. Does anyone remember marked ones? Did you?
No.
I do remember that. Yeah.
The only thing I'll say about that one is I always thought it was confusing how the ending of Paranormal Activity starts at the ending of that movie, and it's like, this doesn't really make sense, but we'll go with it.
I see Saw X didn't make the list. Here.
Oh yeah, Saw X is good.
Temple of Doom's a prequel, I guess.
Oh yeah, that is a
Good one.
prequel. Yeah.
that.
I'm a Raiders
Yeah.
of the Lost Ark guy. I'm
I'm
not
Temple-
super big on Temple of Doom.
Oh,
Okay.
you just teased us there.
Okay. Let's now go ahead and get into another edition of Hot or Cold. We're going to go rapid fire with this.
My wife didn't say, but what about Pearl?
I already knew the answer. Like, Tyler's a fan now, so I've got one of my teams.
That's a no-
I
it's a no
saw
for me,
I
dog.
saw the re-release Tuesday to prepare for Maxine. It was solid. I can't lie.
There we go.
Every time I try to move on to a new segment, John slightly insults somebody real quick, and then they have to respond.
Okay. I'm ready now.
John, watch yourself. Here we go. Question number 1 of Hot or Cold. Sigourney Weaver will receive the Golden Lion for Lifetime Achievement at the 81st Venice International Film Festival In a world of aliens and avatars, are you hot or cold on Galaxy Quest actually being the best Sigourney Weaver movie ever made?
I was about to make a joke saying I actually prefer Galaxy Quest over everything.
Okay, I'm with John on this one. Galaxy Quest is the best
I
Sigourney
actually watched
Weaver
Galaxy
movie.
Quest this past weekend.
Gosh, I love that movie.
No heartbreakers?
Okay.
No love for holes.
Now I really like Avatar, but
This is good.
Galaxy Quest is legit.
Tired of this, Grandpa.
Question number 2.
Best Tim Allen movie too.
Kevin Costner says, quote, I make movies for men. That's what I do. But I won't make a movie unless I have strong women characters. That's
feel
how
bad.
I've conducted my career. I think that's why I have a good following. I just can't conceive of a movie without having a strong female cast. Are you hot or cold on seeing the 2-part Horizon Saga in theaters?
Hard pass.
Cold across
He
the
can
board.
say he wants strong characters, but the box office returns are going to be very weak.
Frozen street water butt
Is
paste.
anyone going to see this movie? I cannot wait to see
I
the
almost
results
was
of it.
going to see it this weekend out of
It
obligation.
comes out this weekend?
Yeah.
It's already out.
It's already
out?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday.
But the movie's over 3 hours long, and I just
And it's only
don't
part
want to
one.
do it.
And didn't he finance his house for this?
Yes.
He put up a ton of his own money, yes. But it could play off. It could pay off, I should say, because he does have a strong fan base, and the book
What a
surrounding this release is doing really well. So
4th of July weekend.
I don't-
next
I
week,
don't-
maybe
Who
we'll go
knows?
see it.
Okay, next question. It is 3 hours long. Next question. Austin Butler wanted to play PETA in the Hunger Games, but his audition supposedly did not go well, and he never got a call back. Looking back, are you hot or cold on Austin Butler being a potentially better PETA Malark casting choice than Josh Hutcherson was? Okay, you're the only one in the Hutcherson camp right now, Tyler.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me why.
I just think he gives off the right personality for PETA's character. PETA is not a tough guy. He's not running around with Tom Hardy and the Bike Riders. He's just more of a soft.
Good for him, by the way. Have you seen that movie?
good for him.
He's a softie. He just survived 2 games of murder.
No, but how did he survive, John? He survived by
I know,
painting
I
himself
said
up
just-
like a tree.
I had to make a joke.
It's how he survives.
Now, I thought Josh Hutcherson was good in it, but
Austin Butler,
Austin
would have
Butler
been better?
potentially
That would
could
have
have
been
been better.
Austin
That was the
Butler
question.
circa when he was like on Carrie Diary, so I would have been all about that
In High School Musical 3.
in high school but with his cousin.
I think we've heard all we need to hear.
Yep.
Moving on to question number 4. Variety reviewed the new Netflix rom-com starring Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron, stating, quote, it's a mystery how little chemistry there is to be found here between Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron, 2 of Hollywood's most magnetic stars. Are you hot or cold on watching Kidman or Efron featured in more romantic comedies down the line, whether together or separately?
No, I mean I think this movie looks just like the Anne Hathaway movie, which was based on the Harry Styles fan fiction, so that's why I wanted to watch it.
It's just like it.
Hey, Harry Styles again.
Oh,
Sure.
Hey, as long as the
but,
shirt.
but I mean, I think they're both good individually. I just don't know about together.
They're both good individually, and they're both better serious actors.
But you feel like both can still lead romantic comedies? And
Yeah.
it makes sense?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think
Then you need to put up the red.
well,
That's
I
did.
did put up red.
She
I
did.
did have
She
a
did.
red.
Sorry.
But no, I think they definitely can. Especially, I can see Nicole Kidman doing a movie with Adam Sandler, like she did. Just Go With It. I could see her. Yeah, why not?
I think they're both better dramatic actors. I wouldn't necessarily say that about Zac Efron until The Iron Claw, but that's probably the role I enjoyed him the most.
Ricky
in.
Stenicki
And of
was
course,
good.
Nicole Kidman has
You
done
don't like
plenty.
Ricky Stenicki?
Speaking of
I
Ricky's,
thought John Cena was good in it.
speaking of Ricky's, Ricky Gervais has announced his next world tour. If you'd been wearing a Ricky Gervais shirt today, I would have been very confused.
That would have been wild.
He's announced his next world tour and corresponding Netflix special, Ricky Gervais's Mortality, is going to launch later this year and run until the end of 2025. The special will also be filmed for release on Netflix. Are you hot or cold on Ricky Gervais being one of the funniest people alive today? Hot or cold on Ricky Gervais being one of the funniest people alive today? John's hot on it. Tyler doesn't have an answer. He's hot on it. Laurel's cold on it. Tell me why you're cold on Ricky Gervais.
I just don't think he's very funny. I mean, between him and Dane Cook, people were obsessed with him when I was like years ago. I have never thought either one were funny. You know, honestly, the thing with Will Smith and Chris Rock getting slapped, I think if Ricky Gervais were to say something, I think people would be like, okay, he slapped. I think because people don't like the mean-spirited stuff like as much anymore, I think people will be like, okay, he deserved it.
John,
That's fine.
She's cold on Ricky Gervais. However, you're hot on Ricky Gervais, and it has to be because of his award show.
I've never heard John mention Ricky Gervais until this moment.
And I don't care about stand-up in general. If you're going to say, are you hot on this watching his special, then no, I don't care. But Ricky Gervais in general, his award show hosting, I thought has been pretty good. He's infinitely better than Joe Coy. I'll say that. Now, once again, this remote right here is better than Joe Coy. But, like, he's been really good. And
I don't think it's any coincidence Joe Coy and Madam Web happened in the same year.
Yes. But he's one of those that's not afraid to just say whatever. Like, whatever the heck comes to his mind, and there's a certain respectable quality to that. Now, it'll also get your butt in trouble really, really fast. But overall, he's funny. Overall, he's responsible for The Office. So, like, you have to give some respect there as well. I mean, so there's plenty of to go around.
There's that word again, Tim.
Of liking Ricky Gervais.
Variety's review of the latest season of The Bear says...
That means I hate him, sorry.
Variety's review of the latest season of The Bear says the show takes a step down in an aimless Season 3 that leans too heavily on star power. Are you hot or cold on binging The Bear Season 3 completely this weekend? Hot.
I haven't started. I didn't know I was a part of this question.
Everybody's part of every question. We're inclusive here.
You're part of every question. You just hold up.
Okay.
Come on, just hold your breath. No.
I haven't started it.
That's perfectly fine. I'm not saying you did anything wrong, Tyler. I'm just asking if you're...
No, I'm responding to Laurel.
Are you going to binge the whole series, I guess? Obviously not.
We would have started it Wednesday when it came out, but I despise, and if there's one thing that we can all agree on, is hitting the acolyte when it comes to it. It doesn't come out till 8 o'clock, and I want to watch it before 8 o'clock. And the Bear did the same thing.
Wait to see it.
The Bear did the same thing. I'm going to get it over with. The Bear did the same thing Wednesday.
4 out of 5.
One episode. One episode.
Jaws got a 3.5.
You've been fighting us for the past
I didn't want to watch Jaws either. I didn't want to watch Jaws either.
You know how many arguments you could have avoided by just saying that.
I'm complaining about it doesn't come on until 8 o'clock because I watch TV at 6 every night. The Bear did the same thing.
You said you wanted to get it over with, though.
The Bear did the same thing because I want to go on and do something else.
That was a tell. Continue. The Bear. You love it.
Bear did the same damn thing by coming out at 8 o'clock on Wednesday, and I was ready to watch TV at 6, and we literally sat down, let's start watching The Bear. We'll watch 3 or 4 episodes, and it was 6, and it hadn't come out yet, so we haven't watched any of it yet, because then last night we had to go see the awful movie that was A Quiet Place Day 1.
Only got a few more of these. However, John, we're a few more pounds down over with our friends at Way to Wellness.
Go to Way to Wellness, go to planforme.com, and visit our friends Leslie and the whole board-certified staff there. You see Tim looking happy as he is weighing in. Dropping the LBs, I did the same thing. We dropped a couple pounds this past week when we weighed in. Overall, we are 80 combined pounds down. You too can drop that weight. Get a plan for you by going to planforme.com. Get a plan like I'm on, like Tim is on, like Jim is on, like my dad is on, to planforme.com.
You call it 80 pounds down. I call it one Tyler. Roughly.
Now, according to
a little bit more.
According to Jim Dunaway, Tyler's gotten fat since he started as an intern.
He did say that. He came in yesterday.
Did you not hear that yesterday?
Yeah. Oh,
we
yeah.
talked about it on the show today.
He talked about it on the show today.
Oh, yeah.
Too,
it's twice in the past 24 hours.
as if calling him fat here wasn't enough. I'm gonna go to the next route audience and say, God, Tyler's gotten fat since he started.
It's like he is always eating.
And he's like, stop
have
bringing
you gained any weight?
Food.
It's like I don't weigh myself every day, but I've gained a little bit because I'm actually eating now. But yeah,
Tyler shows up Monday looking like a Nutty Professor character, and it's like, okay, maybe Jim was on to something. All right, here we go. Godzilla Kong: The New Empire will be available to stream on Max starting July 4th after earning a strong $567 million in theaters worldwide. Are you hot or cold on Godzilla Kong: The New Empire currently being a top 10 movie of the year so far? No, nothing's up so far.
I gotta remember.
As far as like critical acclaim or as revenue?
Your own personal opinion.
Oh.
Your own personal opinion. Cold. Nobody has it in the top 10.
It's number 12 for me right now.
Number 12. So it's right there. It's
though.
borderline.
Yeah.
You guys had to think about it.
But
I think it's chilling at like 15
I had to
on
pull
my
my
list.
list up to see where it was.
Okay. Well, it's out July 4th on Max if you want to watch it. Sheryl Crow has criticized Drake for using AI to recreate Tupac's voice on a track, saying, quote, "You cannot bring people back from the dead and believe that they would stand for that. I'm sure Drake thought, yeah, I shouldn't do it, but I'll say sorry later. But it's already done, and people will find it even if he takes it down. It's hateful, It is antithetical to the life force that exists in all of us. Are you hot or cold on deceased musicians being a part of new music through artificial intelligence?
I think it's weird. I think all of this stuff with de-aging people, bringing people, I just think it's weird. Like, I don't understand it.
AI can do a lot of cool things in the world that I fully support. But if you're going to use old musicians, just sample their old songs.
Yeah, that's the easiest thing to do.
And also that Drake song sucked.
Well, there we have
You're
it.
Team Kendrick. So.
Hey, we randomly got into a whole
100%.
discussion today
Me too.
supporting
Me too,
Kendrick
Tyler.
Lamar in
Me too.
that debate. So Tyler and I were posting lyrics of
They
Kendrick,
not like
Lamar.
us.
Old certified lover boy there. Yeah, anyway.
The new trailer for Tom Hanks and Robin Wright's repairing shows them as de-aged teens in the official trailer for Here, directed by their Forrest Gump filmmaker Robert Zemeckis. Are you hot or cold on this being a film that will likely make you cry?
I think it's weird. I mean, I really
So, hold on, you're split.
I want to see it, but like I can think it's also weird, like to see these people as teenagers. Like,
do you feel like you're going to be emotional watching this movie? Because it's going for the heartstrings.
I mean, probably, but at the same time, I'm going to be preoccupied looking at people that are de-aged so much. Like, I just wonder how that's actually going to look.
That's
in a
fair.
So, like,
movie.
Tim mentioned before I watched the trailer, it kind of is like a ghost story, and it is. And I said it's kind of like looks like Cloud Atlas, how like they went through different timelines and had the same people playing them. Which I think Tom Hanks was in Cloud Atlas.
Cloud Atlas sucks, and he was in it multiple times.
I thought Cloud Atlas was okay. For the most part, I like the Wachowskis, but
I had a physical reaction to Cloud Atlas having seen it in the theater.
I didn't hate Cloud Atlas. But
You ever want to see the worst movie made? Go watch Cloud Atlas.
I'm good,
it's
man.
not
I'm
the
good.
worst. It's not the best, but it's not the worst movie ever made. I respect it.
Oh no.
It depends how much it tries to do with the technology and story, making it too big. That if I'm more into watching the story and more into watching the technology and the seasons change and the years change and all, then I won't cry because that's not worth crying at.
This
You're
thing's
supposed to
going
cry.
to be gimmicky as hell, but I'm all for it.
Oh, I am.
I
No.
want to see it.
I'm all in to go see it, but to make me cry, they have to focus on the people, and it seems like if they're focusing more on the craziness around them and the world around them and the time changes and the CGI and all that, it can take you out of it.
I think they're going to focus on the people.
So
you can't have it on
we'll
one
see.
room and not connect with the people.
And there's nothing to not like about Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, and Robert Zemeckis. So
Two more. Street Fighter has landed a March 20th, 2026 domestic release date from Sony. Are you hot or cold on Sony being the one to finally get Street Fighter right on the big screen?
They almost had it. They had the Rocka guys attached to direct, and then scheduling conflicts, and they dropped out.
Yeah.
So I don't know who they're actually going to
John
get
held
to
this
head
up, so
head
I
the
held
project
mine up.
anymore.
I don't know if you really can do Street Fighter right in film. I don't know. Mortal Kombat, I think, has been done right.
Fight movies in
fan
general
film.
have not been done
Okay.
right.
I think Mortal Kombat has been done right in fan film. So
You
that
scared me for a second.
That lets me know that, I thought the original was okay. Annihilation was awful. I have no desire to watch the new one. But the
It's
fan
not good
versions
either.
have been done good to where, maybe, but I just don't know that you can do it right.
Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige confirms the Fantastic Four will indeed be a 1960s period piece set in some version of New York City. Are you hot or cold on Marvel Studios being able to get the now long-plagued Fantastic Four series over with general audiences? Tyler, you're selling this one hard, even though it stars yourself, Eddie.
Hey.
Yeah. So
You loved them last night.
Fantastic Four. I don't know if it's just for people older than me. We don't really have any fond memories of them. Like outside of a couple video games, it's just been bad movie.
Right?
Why would I
There's
care?
a stank on it.
Oh yeah, and also I think the style
yes, but-
of the Fantastic Four doesn't exactly lend itself well to doing very well in a modern day and age. And I
John-
think Superman's gonna have the same problems.
John,
I agree with
you
that.
judge properties based on what time period they're set in. Let me ask you, does setting this in the 60s bring in the Tyler generation to get excited about Fantastic Four, or is this a narrative misstep potentially?
I don't think it's a narrative misstep. I love it, but I don't think it helps younger audiences. But I think it brings in older audiences more that would not go see a Marvel movie in general. So I think it may ultimately end up equaling out, but I think you're bringing in more of the spending power.
People loved WandaVision, and that a lot of the part was that's what people loved about it.
That's a great point.
But people loved that.
That is a great point. It
So
was
I think-
over with the internet.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be incredible.
That was before Marvel really lost their stride
Yeah.
too, because everybody was like, "Oh man, they're giving us TV. Oh my gosh!" And now it's like, "Oh, there's another Marvel show out."
Yeah.
People are weighed down by it. That's gonna do it for Hot or Cold, guys. I'm really enjoying this. I feel like we are on the right track to make this a hot segment for sure. If you want to go on a hot winning streak, you can visit our title sponsor, John. That's MyBookie.
This is what I do on MyBookie a lot of times because I'm not real good at picking games. But you know what? You can be in Fuego when you go to MyBookie.ag. Use promo code next round. See in the corner right there. Use that, get a first deposit bonus on us. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere, even play in a casino with real dealers, real cards. Go to MyBookie.ag.
Thank you for another successful week of The Meltdown. Hope you have a great weekend. We will be back Monday. Next week, we will be unveiling a documentary talking about the current state of Meltdown Triple Threat Trivia and where things are with all the different storylines that are circulating. Congratulations to John for being world champion, to Miss Laurel Lunsford for being a tag team champion of the world and Rockstar, and to Tyler for having been the best part of Team Supreme Spiders, for sure. Congratulations there, Tyler. You got the moral victory, and that's what counts. We appreciate everybody making sure you like this video and subscribe to The Meltdown.